to the demo video for the brand new app, I Am Chef, an idea by Chef Omari and made by myself, Michael Sana, along with RJ Gleaton, Mitchell Lambo, and Lucas Oblinski. The capstone project class is set up in a way where clients can submit ideas for students to do, and that's where Chef Omari comes into the picture. The whole app was his idea and vision that anyone can be their own chef. Me and the team worked with Chef and made it come to life. The motivation behind I Am Chef is that we have all been in a situation where in our kitchen looking at the ingredients we have but have no idea what to do with them. Using I Am Chef, you can search for different ingredients you have and find recipes you can make. The recipes include an ingredient list and the instructions on how to cook the recipe. You can also search for the whole category you're looking for using the built-in search bar. The categories include things such as beef, chicken, breakfast, dinner, and so much more. Or you can look at the preference catered home screen to see what categories and recipes fit your selected preferences. That's where the secondary motivation for the app comes in. Another problem I Am Chef is hoping to solve is that if people have different dietary restrictions, whether it be medical such as diabetes or preference-based such as a diet plan, they can select from the list of preferences and get recipes that fit their needs. One of the main visions for I Am Chef is that it could help people who are scared to branch out due to dietary restrictions. Now with I Am Chef, they can open the app and be fear-free. I will go through two use cases, one using the primary motivation and one using the secondary motivation. Currently, if my roommate Malik were to go into the kitchen and look at what he has to cook, he would look at the array of protein, vegetables, and carbs he has, and probably default to making some basic chicken in the air fryer. He does this quite often, and while this isn't a large issue, he misses out on nutrients his body needs. Using I Am Chef, he can search whole dishes that have chicken and other ingredients he has at his disposal, allowing him to get a more fulfilling meal and give his body the nutrients it needs. For the next use case, we will use Jalen, who is on the ketogenic diet, and he sticks with his 3 same meals that he has because he knows they fall within his diet and he does not want to get pushed out of ketosis. With I Am Chef, he is able to find more recipes that he knows will not kick him out of ketosis. Now he can eat a larger variety of meals while adhering to the diet. With both of these cases, the primary objective for the use case of an I Am Chef is achieved, where the user can cook a larger variety of foods for themselves and become their own chef. All you need to do to see the recipes and categories catered to your preferences or have access to search for any recipe you would like is to download the app and sign up, then select your preferences. Once you sign in, you will have all the catered categories/recipes right in front of you to choose from. You can add or remove preferences at any time from the profile screen.
My name is Mitchell Lambert. I'm going to talk to you all about how we use Firebase and how that tied into some of the other technologies we used. So Firebase was used in tandem with MealDB for the back end, and some of the products we use are authentication, the different databases Firebase had to offer, and cloud storage. So the login page uses authentication, and then the real-time database and cloud storage is used for storing user information such as your name and the registered user login information, and then it uses cloud storage for uploading, updating, and storing profile pictures. And then Firebase tied into Android Studio by first we had to make a project on Firebase using the console. Then we had to associate our Android app with that project by adding our application ID in the console, and then we added the Firebase generated config file into our Android project, which was just like a JSON file, and then we had to add a signing certificate to enable us to use Firebase authentication. Then we listed the Firebase SDK as a dependency in our build file, which helped us manage dependencies. This way we only needed to specify one version number in our Gradle file because the Firebase BOM maps to the most up-to-date stable releases of Firebase libraries. And then Android Studio's Firebase Assistant also helped with adding authentication. Then for Firebase and MealDB, We used Cloud Firestore for storing categorical information and some recipe information that was retrieved from MealDB, and we kind of just, our database schema is categories and recipes. There's category collection, which has a recipe doc. Each collection has a recipe document, and then the recipe document contains 3 fields that are associated with the same fields in the MealDB. And one of those fields, the meal ID, is what the recipes list page uses to send. It builds an intent with the meal ID of the user's selection and sends it to the details page. The list of recipes page also retrieves all of the fields and displays name and uses OKHTTP to display the images. And this one kind of didn't work using MealDB indirectly on the recipes list page. We might as well have been using it directly, like we are on the details page, but luckily we built it using the MVVM architecture, which lends itself to updating it in the future. The repo of which our recipes list page uses to access MealDB directly.
Hi, I'm Lucas Oblonzi, and I will be introducing the technologies we used for the Culinary App project. First, starting with MealDB, the database, and then moving on to Android Studio. The first technology that I will be showing is the MealDB. MealDB is a database of recipes and meals sorted through categories that we use to populate our app with meals to show the user. The reason we chose MealDB is because MealDB is both free. There's optional extra things you can get for $2 a month support, and also because MealDB has an API that is also free and available for us to use. As you can see, just from this front page, there is a wide variety of recipes from any sort of category that you would like, including regional categories, food categories, vegetarian and vegan, and more. So in the API, we use these HTTP links, and these will return information without returning a whole website. So an API will just give you exactly what you need without you needing to actually go through code. It'll just give you the information in a JSON format. Commands we use are usually look up meals by ID and also meal categories, and also a little bit of searching meal by name. So we'll look at the ID page and see what a JSON output looks like. So this is the meal with ID 52772. As you can see, it gives you the name of the meal, the category of the meal, the area of the meal. It gives you the full instructions of output. It gives you a link to the thumbnail. It gives you a link to a YouTube video. It gives you tags, and it also gives you every ingredient individually as well as the amount of those ingredients. So in this exact format, we can use this information and put it into our app as a recipe using our own code. The next piece of software that I will be discussing is Android Studio. Android Studio is a technology developed and supported by Google for anyone to use for free to create Android applications. Android Studio is a very complex tool, so I'll be discussing the main points. So Android Studio is broken up into 3 major parts. There's the visual editing, there's the coding, and then there's the emulation. Visual editing is where you go into XML files found in the resources folders. XML files define how things look or sound, or even how they animate across the screen. You can edit XML visually here or as text here. And then there's the coding. This is simple coding that can use either the Java language or the Kotlin language. Kotlin is a language developed, again, by Google for the purposes of Android development. And then there's also the emulator. The emulator is the tool that a programmer uses to see what their app would look like on any specific phone that they choose, and that is also a free part of this app. So while you can test these production apps on a physical phone, you may not have access to enough phones or the correct phones, or you may not have one at all. And so this emulator allows you to start up a phone on your computer to test the app on. We used Android Studio for the full development of this application, following its guidelines and its capabilities. Thank you.
Hello, my name is RJ Gleaton, and I'll be demonstrating the demo of I Am Chef. To get started, let's get registered by hitting Not a Member, Get Registered Now in Firebase. Next, we just ask you some basic info. Please tell us your first and last name, your lifestyle preferences, and upload a profile picture and background image. Now we've taken you to our home page. The home page features a list of categories and recipes tailored specifically to you and your preferences. You can scroll through to see all of your suggestions. If none of our suggestions interest you, you can also use our search bar to search through all of our recipes and categories. From the home page, you can either click one of your recommended categories to view all the recipes in that category, or you can click on a recipe to view that recipe's instructions. Really like a recipe? Click on the heart icon to add it to your favorites, and view it later by clicking the favorites icon. If you'd like to change your settings or preferences, simply head over to the profile page. From here, you can edit avatar, edit background image, edit your bio, edit your display name, and see how others view your account. To change your preferences, simply click Update Preferences and click on the options you'd like to add or remove. Just to give one final example of how you might use our app, let's say you're a person on a Mediterranean diet who's athletic and you want something to cook for dinner. Just head over to the categories page and let's take a look at all the choices we've got. Oh, fish sounds good. Let's pick from one of our recommended dishes. And look at that, we've got all the ingredients and instructions right here. Time to get cooking.